wireless.
Hi, this is Abhijit Bose, here at EasyTap headquarters in Bangalore. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what I think is a remarkable day. The Prime Minister and the government had one of the boldest and most amazing moves yesterday by removing the 500,000 rupee note, as many people know by now. And you know, for us, I think there's a couple impacts, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about them. Number one, of course, anybody in the digital ecosystem that's been passionately pushing for a digital economy where we remove cash from the system is ecstatic today. And besides the typical things that you've heard, businesses increasing, of course, there's been massive demand. What I wanted to share that I think makes all of us really excited are some of the stories from the field that we're hearing. You know, let me start actually with the one that gets me most excited. We have three types of customers: large enterprises, small, medium retailers, and actually we service a lot of the bottom of the pyramid. And one of the things that I've been very excited about today is how many people who have had cash, whether it's your driver or people who work in the office or people you see on the street, coming up with an awareness and saying, what do I do with my money? And then the first thing we do is say, do you have a bank account? And then they normally do. And then we ask them, do you have an ATM card? And they normally do. But none of them know how to use it. And if nothing else, there's been a conversation today probably between everybody who knows about how the system works and those who don't. And I think one of the biggest impact is that we will actually be transferring knowledge. All of these people actually have access to the financial system. So if you think about what the government has done, it's not a one-day thing. This is something that this government has done phenomenally well for over a year. And so we're just seeing the end of it now, and it's a really powerful thing that because none of this would have worked if people didn't have bank accounts, or if people didn't have cards, or if people didn't have digital instruments. But the government has been very methodical in making sure this is ramped up. And so my hope, and what I actually expect to see in what private sector companies who can work with software and work with mobile platforms and leverage all of the stuff we've built, we'll be able to allow all of these people to now keep getting paid electronically, but I can see people having access to loans and credit that they never had access to before and people weren't willing to give them. So that's story number one, and I think you'll see a lot of innovation coming out there. Story number two, we've seen so many merchants, small merchants, in utter despair today saying, how can I actually get credit card acceptance? How can I accept wallets? And of course we're able to help them, but I think what they're going to experience and what many of them have said is like, you know, actually I didn't realize how easy this was. We have many people who order food in our office from many of the vendors out on the street. And you know, a 37 rupee bill or a 20 rupee bill, these are actually pretty difficult for them to handle in cash. And now they've been pretty liberated. They've found out how easy it is, and I think once all of the dust settles, once people get over the fact that they're being forced to do this, they'll really see the power, ease, and convenience of digital transactions, whether it's credit cards, whether it's wallets, whether it's paying through your phone using new technologies like UPI. So I can see consumers educated in financial services and not being really ramping up, and I can see merchants getting very comfortable with it. And that is the lasting legacy of this. After all of this, it's not going to be because people were forced to do it, it's because people are going to see the power of a digital economy. And the impact on this country, on innovation, on the financial services sector is going to be amazing. It's a great time to be in India. It's an exciting time to wake up and be part of this journey, and I think everybody here at EasyTap is really, really excited. Take care.